it is actual football week. We have games happening tomorrow as we record the podcast, Thursday. And then the biggest amount of games will happen on Friday, of course. Let's talk first about that game of the week between Lorena and China Spring. Of course, these two teams kicked off the season against one another last year as well. Cougars coming off of another state championship, this time in 4A Division I after winning in 4A Division II back in 2021. They opened the season as the number one ranked team in the state. They've got their quarterback back. They've got Kyle Barton back, pretty freaking good running back. Then Lorena, of course, is 2 years removed from its own state championship in 3A, and they're breaking in a new head coach in Kevin Johnson, who DJ wrote about. They're the number 6 team in 3A Division I. So last year, China Spring won this game 38-20. Any chance that it's closer this time?
I think it'll be a little closer this time. It's just obviously coming off of that big win at state. Their defense is a little younger. They're going to have guys that are just going to need a little bit more experience before things get going. And, even though Lorena's got obviously new guys coming up as well, they've got a lot of two-way talent that has experience that, they've got Braylon Henry back as well, fully healthy. He got hurt sometime in the middle of last season. And they had a lot of young guys last year that, are going to be stepping up this year with playing experience. So I think Lorena has the capacity of making this a closer game. That being said, China Spring is China Spring, and they've got something that is kind of hard to put into words, where even when they look like they're down, they're gonna surprise you or, just come back and win it all. I mean, I don't know what else I can say. Lorena has the capacity to win this week. The Cougars are the Cougars.
Yeah.
Wasn't Lorena was pretty young on the offensive line last year, right? So they'll be that's always an advantage to have some returning experience there. I tell you what I like about this game. I think China Spring will win. I think they've got that mojo. I got my mojo hat on. China Spring kind of has that mojo going more than any other team in Central Texas, and that kind of leads into what I was going to say is, with Midway and Waco High down in University. Of course, University had a good season last year, but they're not like, the big flexing team in our area. None of those big schools are. So what it kind of comes down to is China Spring and Lorena are kind of the big dogs around here in a way, in terms of bigger schools that have had a lot of success recently. So that makes that a real good matchup. Just from, all right, first game out of the box, let's see what you got type of deal.
Yeah, and it's a little different situation as a first-year new head coach for Kevin Johnson in that he's plenty familiar with this program, obviously. He's been at Lorena now for, almost a decade or so. Was an assistant coach under Ray Biles as well as the school principal, kind of pulling some double duty there, but he never really wanted to, get his toe completely out of football. He's always been a big football guy. Of course, Chad, he's on the High School Football Hall of Fame board with us. So he loves football, and he never really has wanted to get away from it. And I think he's been itching to get back. So he knows these guys, he knows this program. So I think that makes for a little bit smoother transition than a lot of, new head coaches would be. Though I do agree with you guys. I mean, China Spring's the favorite. I think it's going to be a somewhat similar game to last year, 38-20. That sounds about right to me. Obviously Lorena's got some playmakers. It's going to be fun to see what Jaden Porter does in his last season. And I honestly feel like Kyle Barton for China Spring, as great as he's been, I feel like we don't give him enough credit. I think he's almost underrated. He's had 2 just tremendous seasons for state championship teams. So I look for him to have a big year, maybe approaching 2,000 yards. So yeah, I mean, I think we're all in agreement that China Spring will probably win, but give it up for Lorena for playing this kind of a game to just, get itself ready.